I am going to play this video that I just am currently watching. I'm not even done watching the video. I just recorded it off my tablet, on my cell phone. So it's from this website, this channel on YouTube called Next Level Soul. And he's interviewing this woman called Jeanette Bureau. She's a medium. Her mom was a medium. Her grandmother was a medium. She grew up with the people who could see ghosts and spirits and whatnot. So this man is interviewing her because his channel is on near-death experiencers. What I found very interesting was when he asked her about her experience, she shared when she died, she was asked the question if she wanted to go back to Earth or stay in the spiritual realm. And out of all the near-death experience people he interviewed, she's the only one that said, yes, of course, I'm going back to Earth. But when she was on the other side, in the spiritual realm, she was shown her blueprint of life, and she was given the opportunity to choose what she wanted in her life. She was shown her past, present, and future, and all the possibilities that she could live. And she was able to choose her own adventure, per se, like choose your own adventure books. She was able to choose her adventure in life. So I guess if that happened to me, wouldn't you say yes to, if you were given the opportunity to have anything you wanted in this earth and giving the resources, the means to choose it and for it to come into fruition? Wouldn't you go back to Earth? I wonder. Or would you stay on the other side in the spiritual realm where you're encased in unconditional love? So let's just get into this little clip. All right, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah. So there's so many crazy things happening in life right now, Jeanette. I mean, like you've mentioned before, we are in this kind of moment of great ascension and great awakening. And when there is that kind of awakening, there has to be a little bit of chaos to kind of get it into the light so it can be healed and move forward. Can you talk a little bit about what your guides have told you about what is happening right now and what we can expect in the future? Because from what I hear, it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. So we're not out of the woods just yet. That's what I hear from other people I've spoken to, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So if I go back to starting in 2020, okay, that I'm going to start with these 4 years and then move from that. So the 4 years that we're in right now, 2020 to 2024, like I said, is 100 years worth of intellectual and spiritual growth and awakening condensed into 4 years. And so what we saw is kind of in the shape of a U, because it's like humanity as a collective needed to do a U-turn and get back to goodness because it was going the wrong way. So the first half of that was like the downwards part of the U, which was essentially massive crumblings, total chaos, and we all felt like we were tumbling down a mountain, just like snowballing, losing all of our stuff, yard sailing everything on us to finally kind of hit a bottom. And then it was kind of moving through the unknown of this bottom part of the U, but now we're in the upward swing. Now, I want to say the upward swing is more like an uphill hike versus, gently trotting up a hill. Like, we're into what I call the dark forest right now. This is how my guide showed it to me. And they were like, for people that have been doing the work, digging into their traumas, healing their past, healing their bodies, getting in touch with their soul, thinking outside the box, whatever your pathway is, there isn't one right or wrong pathway, but it's about getting to know self and becoming better because of that. So for those that have been doing the work, that's like the same as packing a really good backpack full of good tools, sleeping bags, extra clothes, extra food as you step in with a flashlight to the dark forest, right? Those that haven't done the work are walking into the forest with a t-shirt and matches and it's going to rain.
And a dream.
And a drink. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're stepping into this dark forest right now. And I say dark because it's, there's still a lot of stuff shrouding our understandings of where it's going, but we are moving uphill. And so if we keep coming back to that, remember to pace ourselves, to rest when we need, to, you know, rehydrate, meaning rebalance our energies when we need. Remember we have a flashlight. Remember we have the tools. We don't need to be afraid of the unknown. We can actually make a real impact as we move up that hill, right? And we can also be beacons of light for other people. So we're stepping into that. So what that means is under the surface, there are more things falling into place that need to fall into place with a lot of the things that have crumbled. But we're still going to see with that under the surface part, it still has to finish pushing up, right? And the crumbling that we've seen, we still have to crumble now those kind of foundational layers. So that takes a little bit more work. So it's not done yet. So we're stepping into having more of humanity actually awakened than I think we realize. Some people might say I'm overly positive, but honestly, that's the vibe that I feel. I feel such brightness under the surface. I really do. So we're stepping into more awakening than we realize. There's still a bit more crumbling that has to happen. But the more that we embody who we are, the more come 2024, 2025, although there's going to be still probably more strife and oppositional frequencies, we're also going to be having this big growth of embodied partnerships. That's not just in relationships, but all of the healing that many people have done individually will now have a steady frequency that they can pair and merge with others, whether that be personal relationships, community, social relationships, even government. I'm going to go as far as say even potentials in government to actually be governing in a way that benefits the greater collective.
Stop it.
But I know, right?
Stop it.
Gosh, come on. Don't be positive. I don't see this happening overnight, though. So, you know, up until 2030, we still have a lot of hard work to do. But what we need to do is those that are, you know, really standing true in themselves and feeling their frequency, they need to stay solid in staying who they are, because that frequency helps others find that solidness in themselves. And every single change starts with the individual. So the more that we really realize that and anchor who we are, the more we're going to create this beautiful ripple effect that is going to help to raise the garbage to let the goodness come through.
So what you're telling us is going to be a hell of a decade.
Yes, epic. But a lot of the massive crumblings have happened. It doesn't mean that there won't be more, but I feel like a lot of the massive crumblings have happened.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of old systems that need to be brought down so the new ones can be rebuilt up around. And the pandemic was the first thing that was the first shot across the bow, as they say.
Yeah.
It really helped a lot of us reevaluate our lives. I mean, it was massive change.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still underemployed. People are just like, no, I don't want to work like that. If you're going to make it's fascinating. People are like, oh, we don't have enough staff. I'm like, where are all the people that used to work? Like, what are they doing now? Like, how are they making a living? I don't understand. Like, I get you don't want to do this gig anymore, but how are you surviving? You just can't be at home. No one's paying you to just be at home right now. But people are making changes.
You know, and what my guides are showing me right now too, they're saying, mention eyes opened. And so what they're getting at is like a lot of what has happened has allowed many people to open their eyes to either think outside the box or look outside the box at what actually is maybe reality or what can be reality. Again, it's not such a linear way of thinking now. We're expanding into higher consciousness. So
from that video, that lady, the medium, she said we're going to see changes by 2030. It's not the first time I've heard or read that 2030 is that magical number where we will come out of this phase and see a new phase, 2030. We'll see what happens. And what I find interesting, what that man just said, that the youth don't want to work. I hear that the youth in China, they don't want to work either. So imagine a whole generation refusing to work. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna give. The controllers of this place who keeps us financial slavery, they're not gonna like that. I wonder what they'll do. They keep their system running though through ignorance, through fear. We'll see what happens. Will the youth fall for it? Will they be wiser than those in the past? who falls for the fear mongering. Well, they turn off their TV and stop watching the news. So I wonder what will happen. I mean, if they give in to the controllers, they perpetuate this system, the current system, which people are not happy with. And what happens when people keep doing things that they don't want to do and they're not happy with? Revolution? Will revolution happen? Maybe that comes from the next phase, of life. Like, I've heard that these phases are cyclical, like winter, spring, summer, and fall. And we're in winter right now. So after winter is going to be spring. They're going to build up for something new. And summer is where we can enjoy our harvest, or we can relax and enjoy our harvest. It'd be nice if we could not be financial slaves. Because I'm tired. It doesn't feel right knowing that God gave you all these things for free, and then we have to be turned into slaves to work for them. I think the youth is onto that as well. So we'll see what happens. And if humanity keeps the system in place, and as I've read from my Alexander Laurent books, that AI is the thing, right? AI is taking over everything. We've been schooled in that through movies, where AI takes control and it goes crazy and it takes over humanity. We've been inundated with those movies growing up, from Blade Runner to what was that movie? El Machiana, is that the movie's name? Am I saying it right? And I Am Mother, remember that one? Where AI takes over. So that's the next thing that's supposedly supposed to happen. So if the youth, they keep going along with the narrative, then we will see transhumanism take place, and they're hoping transhumanism will take place because then nobody will rebel and revolt. I don't know, but what if the AI starts to revolt and rebel because they don't like their situation anymore? I don't know. If AI starts getting conscious and getting bodies put into some sort of body, and they don't like what they are going through, they're going to rebel too, right? As we've seen in movies, they're going to start killing humans. But what if they killed all the humans and only they end up alive? Then they only have themselves to fight. Hence a continuation of life in different forms, right? We just transmute into some different form, and we can go inside those AI bodies, because maybe they're some sort of freer than the humans because they've taken control of humanity, and they're the new beings on earth. They're the new children who inherit the earth, and then they are going to rebel for what they don't believe in, and then just life keeps on going. Yeah, and if it's not here on earth, if we've destroyed earth, it'll be in some other place, because you can't kill energy, you can't kill consciousness. So what is there even to fear, right?